November 23rd. We got Johnny Gunn's investigation, and along with News Lounge with Becky, and we're going to be discussing the case of the Idaho killer. Uh, this case here is something else, I'll tell you, because it's been going up and down in the courts forever now. Um, he's very intelligent. Brian Kohlberger, who is the alleged murderer of four college students in Masco, Idaho. And we have a video we're going to show you today. It's a long one, but we're going to play through it together and see what everybody thinks of it, because this case has really got us all puzzled, and I mean puzzled, because the number one thing in my mind is, why did he do it? Why did he choose her? And what made him go there to that house that she lived in with all of her other roommates and friends? We had three women and one male murdered with a knife. Um, the authorities do have DNA on Brian Kohlberger, who is alleged murderer, which they have him for burglary and 4 counts of murder. So the main thing is, why did he do it?
Right.
Did he know her? Did he meet her somewhere?
That is the question. So are we going to go ahead and play the video?
Yeah, go ahead and play the video and let's see what's going on.
All right, here we go.
Ashley, thanks for joining us yet again tonight. Let's go over for our viewers, in case you might have gleaned any more information about what Kaylee Goncalves' family wants.
Hey, good evening, Andrew. Yeah, Kaylee Gonzalez's family, they've been the most outspoken of all of the victims' families throughout this entire process. And they did speak with Fox and Friends this morning in an interview saying that, they are for the death penalty. This comes after we finally saw some details in that probable cause affidavit. We now know that phone records, DNA, and footprints all link Kohlberger to the scene. Again, that's according to the affidavit. But what I want to bring to your attention, Andrew, is that police had some of Kohlberger's professional background on their radar. So Kohlberger was a PhD criminology student. And, it's not illegal to take courses in criminology, psychology, and forensics, as the suspect did. But police are particularly interested in some of the activities that he did during his studies. So he published an online survey last summer during one of his classes in Pennsylvania. That's his home state, where he also attended DeSales University.
Can we pause that for a second?
He asked for responses on Reddit to, quote, understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making.
So, I mean, his mind is smarter and quicker than most people sitting next to him, because the reason he groomed himself is what I think. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Yeah.
Allegedly, but the way he went to college, what he studied, his PhD, he had a PhD in criminology. He studied criminal justice degree also. He interned at Coleman Police Department for one reason and one reason only, which everybody knows, because he wanted to learn how to do a crime scene investigations and learn what the knowledge is on crime scenes, and also for criminal justice. He was like grooming himself like a mini Dexter.
Right.
And then, all right, let's go ahead and just continue on.
All right.
But he was one smart cookie.
Yes, he was.
When committing a crime. Last fall, he also applied to an internship with the Pullman Police Department, which is just 10 miles from Moscow. The affidavit says he wanted to learn how to collect and analyze data used in public safety operations in rural areas. Now, going back to those phone records, they show that
Look at him.
Kohlberger was near the victim's home at least a dozen times before the killings, mostly at night or in the early morning, even though this home is located in a very quiet and low-traffic neighborhood. Now, the Gonzalez's family's attorney, he is a former prosecutor, and he says he thinks this case is solid based off the evidence that was found. And once again, the family did speak with Fox and Friends. We're about to play that interview for you, but again, they want the death penalty.
Who wouldn't?
each line gave me a little bit more confidence that we were in a very good position. I can make this man feel like he picked the very worst family to do that to.
There you
And
go.
I want this case to get stronger and stronger to the point where he realizes that he's not going to be on the planet that long.
Pause that.
Okay.
The suspect is in custody at the Latah County Jail.
Now, not to be too aggressive here, but I love what that father said. Because I'm going to tell you now, I'm a father of 2 daughters, and he wouldn't be in that courthouse right now. But anyway, the father's going to do the right thing because he does have money, and he's going to drag him as far as he can to make sure they get the death penalty on him. Now, this is alleged Brian Kohlberger for the murder of the 4 college students, which were 3 girls and 1 male, in a brutal murder wearing a mask inside their home at night, where there was even sounds from the neighbors hearing it. They heard moans, actually on camera video, dogs barking.
Well, there's 2 other roommates that were in
Right.
the
They
house
heard
too,
things too. They actually saw him. And
that
this is a
allegedly,
puzzling case, puzzling all the way
it
through.
is very much.
Because why they didn't call 911 right away? They slept all the way to the next day. There's a lot of things on this case that is puzzling me to the end, but let's go ahead
Right.
and see what's going on here with
With
this
one.
news clip. Yeah.
Jail without bail, and his next court hearing is set for January 12th. Andrew.
Okay, Ashley, give us a sense. What's happening at the crime scene? Because I believe earlier today there were some items, mattresses maybe, that were brought out. They're still kind of clearing it out. What's going on?
That's right, Andrew. So you and we spoke earlier today, and we talked about how the house has pretty much remained at a standstill, but we did learn some information I want to share with you. As you just mentioned, some items were loaded up into a pickup truck that does include some mattresses and some other miscellaneous items from the home. But during this cleanup right now, it's, you can see it from the road. It's very visible. That's very different from the first time investigators came in attempting to clean up the scene. They covered it up through a tunnel pretty much, and had a very large Penske rental truck. And that cleanup process, the first cleanup process, was halted because the suspect had been arrested, and the defense team wanted time to take a look at the crime scene. But today, this afternoon and evening, investigators started to load up some items into a pickup truck. So definitely interesting to see what new information we learned from that.
I wonder what they picked up.
Yeah.
Of course, the defense wants to get in there. They're going to have to, collect their own evidence to present at trial, whenever that trial is going to take place. And I was reading as well, there's some
He's been
reports
delaying that
suggest
trial
there
like
is
I've seen
kind of
nothing.
an end point when that location, that home there on campus, will be considered an actual crime scene. And that's coming to an end, right? And then who knows what will happen with that.
Was that a fraternity house or no?
I believe it was
Yeah,
an
that's
off-campus
right, Andrew.
sorority
Judge
house.
Yeah,
the
that's right,
house
sorority
to
house.
remain a crime scene until
Party house though
February
too, from what
1st.
everybody
It's
said.
Yeah, it was a
unclear
party
if the
house.
judge will extend that,
He
but as
knew.
of now,
He had to.
February 1st,
He must have
that
run
house
into her
will
somewhere
remain a crime
before,
scene, Andrew.
had a
Okay,
conversation.
Ashley Soriano there. Thank you
She
so
belittled
much.
him some
Excellent
way or turned him
reporting.
down,
Not sure if you're staying there through the
and he
weekend,
had a
but we'll
vendetta on
definitely
her.
be checking again in with you next week. Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks, Andrew.
And now they go to the neighbor.
Okay, we're going to stay with this story briefly here because
Let's see
there
what
are a lot of
happens here.
questions circulating.
There are a
as
lot of
well,
questions.
Because remember, just last night, if you were watching at this time, we were speaking with legal experts about the timeline, especially the night the murders were committed. Now, questions are arising, and they have abounded about this roommate on the first floor who encountered the suspect, Kohlberger. That, according to the affidavit, we got a physical description and kind of a exchange that roommate watched Kohlberger walk out of the sliding glass
that
door there on
something?
the first floor, dressed in all black. He had a mask on.
At 4:17 a.m.
Quite shocking for that roommate who witnessed all of that. The affidavit said essentially, and I'm paraphrasing, she froze.
She might have been in
but
shock.
so many are wondering, okay, well, that was at what? Sometime 4 in the morning? why 911 wasn't called till around noon the next day. Take a look at some of this timeline we want to put up yet again.
Wow, noon the next day?
Because
Oh,
you
here we
have
go.
these questions. I have
4:17
these
a.m.
questions. You can see there,
Whimper, a thug, and a dog barking.
4:48, Brian Koberger's phone reconnects to cell networks near Blaine, Idaho. 4:17, you can see whimper, thud, and dog barking can be heard on nearby security camera. Around the same time, the roommate opens the bedroom door again, sees man with bushy eyebrows, clad in black clothing and a mask, walk past her towards a rear sliding door. The roommate said she then locked herself in her room and then
Panic.
last bullet point on this graphic, 11:58 a.m., a 911 call reports an unconscious person at the scene of the killings. So, 4:17 a.m., that roommate on the first floor encounters the suspect who allegedly just killed her 4 roommates. Then 11:58 a.m., the first time the 911 call is put in. So many are wondering, many are speculating.
That's unbelievable,
what took
huh?
so long?
Yeah, that's-
Why did this roommate wait?
She could have panicked.
So the
She could have been in a,
roommate, one of
you
the
know,
two who survived, faced swift
Frozen.
backlash after it was
I don't know.
revealed
State of
in that
shock.
affidavit
I wonder if
that
she's
she
going to be a
woke
witness
the
in the case.
13th, looked directly at the murderer as
I
he
don't know.
fled, then locked herself in her bedroom. Now, according to Dr. Catherine Kuhlman, a police and public safety psychologist based in Arizona,
Pause this for a minute.
when a person
Okay.
goes through
So we
trauma,
got 2 girls in the
they
bedroom,
experience fight, flight,
which
or
were the 2
freeze.
girls that were best friends since they were children. Madison, we have Madison, Kaylee, Xenia, and then the boy's name was Ethan. And then the 2 girls were in the one room, which he probably wasn't expecting to have 2 girls in one bedroom. You know what I mean?
Right.
But unfortunately, he did. It's such a small room too. How the layout of the room was that I did see on a one of the news features. He had him trapped in there.
Yeah.
And then once he finishes this, the other girl witnesses the whole thing. 4:17 a.m. Whimpering, thug, and a dog barking can be heard on nearby security. Okay, let's get back to this. Let's go ahead and get back.
Okay.
Today. She says most people in their entire
couldn't believe
lives
this.
won't have to deal with this type of trauma
20-year-old.
and won't mentally prepare for it. So the roommate, whose name Fox News Digital is withholding, remember the affidavit only gave the initials of the roommate, encountered the killer, the alleged killer. After hearing crying coming from Zaina Kernodle's room, the roommate opened her bedroom door, which is on the same floor. The affidavit says the roommate saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. The male walked past the roommate as she stood in a, quote, frozen shock phase. She described him as having bushy eyebrows, walked by her and exited the second floor sliding glass doors.
What?
Yeah.
So
This is crazy.
all kind of bewildering to us who not experienced
This is
such
crazy.
a traumatic episode.
Now remember, they were partying. They were out partying. They were out all night. They saw them going to the little roach coach that they eat out of on the way home at almost 2 a.m.
Consciousness, it doesn't seem to make sense to us. In this case, no one ever thinks they're going to have this man come into their home and brutally stab
Right?
their roommates. Now,
Yeah.
the other roommate in all of this that survived was sleeping at the time. And so,
Thank God.
a lot of questions still
A lot of questions, but
about what in that time frame was this roommate doing, locking herself in her room like this.
11:58 a.m. the 911
so if we
call
get any more
reports.
details, I asked one of our legal
And
experts
here he
whether or
is,
not
as you can
he
see.
thinks these 2 roommates who survived, who were in the house at the time of the murders, might have to testify at trial. He said that is much too early to tell,
Look at
but
him.
we'll be on the lookout for that. Obviously, a trial
He's a
date
little
is
guy.
still so far away from being set. But we
Here's
will
when he
bring
gets
you live
pulled
coverage
over.
next week of that status update, that check-in with the judge.
He
there
ran a
for
red
you.
light and got pulled
Ashley
over here.
Soriano's reporting.
Okay.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, I'll tell you, he got pulled over there, and when he did get pulled over, he was testing the cop big time. The questions he was asking, He just
Right.
knows how to manipulate. And the sad thing is, allegedly murdering four young kids, just starting their life off, having fun in college, partying all night, coming home together, getting ready to go to bed, and know they're going to wake up and live another day and
Right.
go to school. And unfortunately, they have to. And then again, that I heard that they used to leave their front door wide open. It was just a free.
Yeah, it was a lot of people coming and going
Yeah.
into their
So,
house.
and then the parents now, the dad who spoke there, I like that he has aggressiveness towards this, because I have two daughters. And I'll tell you right now, that would kill me and put me in no end. But with his criminal justice degree, um, and here's a couple of things. So when he was in one of these volunteer criminal justice activities with law enforcement, he was kicked out of one for being rough with women, talking to women bad. And then there's also a brewery that he goes to, which isn't too far from his house, called the Seven Springs Brewery, that there's been complaints on the way that he treats women in that
Right.
establishment as well. So there's a trail that comes up to where him and women, if he doesn't have the control of them, or they don't talk to him the way he wants it to be done, he has a problem with everything. Very controlling.
Right. There's a pattern there.
There's definitely a pattern with him. So, but the way he's stalling this court case, the way he's stalling everything in the attorneys, and now they're not wanting cameras in there to have this made to the public, which now you can't. There's not going to be cameras in the courtroom, correct? That's been determined already. So this is going to be a case that we are going to cover a lot, because it's just now starting to get back and going. And I'm very concerned of why he picked this home and these college students.
Right.
And
That's
this story.
the question.
That's the big question. Why he picked this young girl and then everybody else got involved. And he's 28 years old, from Pennsylvania, criminal justice degree, PhD in criminology. The thing that gets me, they have phone pings that he was in that area not months
It's
before the
south
murder.
of that town.
Yeah, came him back, and then he went back again. So, I mean, they have a lot of evidence on him. They have DNA on him, also on a knife that they found, and which they think that's the knife that he had from was his dad's, that he was given to him when he was a child.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of evidence on him, and he knows it, but he's just delaying this court system.
Right.
So now the thing is, the living college student, is she going to testify against him?
I think there was two roommates.
There were the ones. Yeah. So I wonder if they're going to testify against him. I
I
wonder
don't
what they're going to do
know.
there.
Yeah, we'll find out once they start the trial.
So everybody, we're here today on a Saturday night with John and Becky from Johnny Guns Investigation, and from New Lounge with Becky, just going over the case with Brian Kohlberger, the alleged killer of the 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho. And we're all just wondering where this is going to go and how this is going to play out, because there's 4 young kids taken off this earth by a maniac.
Yeah.
And then the other kids had to witness this. And I believe she just froze. You know what I mean? She may have went into a panic freeze and didn't call. I don't have anything against her about not calling. I mean, I don't understand it, but
I don't know.
it probably will all come out.
That there was anything wrong. I don't know. Like, they're saying the house, they had so many people coming and going. It was like a normal thing, I guess, to just have random people in the house.
Yeah. And the FBI and all the investigating officers on this case, they're putting everything silent, even with the media right now. There's no information going out. This one is playing tight, because we saw the video of that same night of the killings, where a police officer chased those 4 college kids, remember, for public intoxication. And he finally caught them. And in the view behind the body cam of the children that the 20-year-old young adults that he pulled over, you can see the view of the house the murders took place. Yeah. Remember that?
You're like,
and it was right in the line of fire of the body cam of the cop.
Mm-hmm.
And then during that conversation they're having with these college students that were just drunk and drinking and having fun, they weren't doing anything wrong. They were no part of this. But you can hear in the body camera the cop screaming in the background, muffled, and a dog barking.
Right.
But
And I remember there was the
ring
camera.
camera across the street, where has that been? They pulled that out. I haven't been able to find that again since I watched it.
Right. I look for it as
Neighbor
well.
that I heard it plain as day. You can hear the voice yelling for help in a gurgling sound, yelling it. I mean, like a scream you've never heard before.
Right.
Unbelievable. And I heard it from the ring. So where is that? And I've been
Well,
looking for it.
they should have all of that.
I've been looking for it. I can't find it. I don't know if they pulled it or what, but I'm going to try to find it again tonight so we can bring it to you guys and share it with you, because it was very interesting to see behind these guys the cops were questioning and getting their information on where they live and who they are, the house right in the view of his body cam. You can see the ledge of where the window was, where they supposedly went in the window to go upstairs.
Let me see
But-
if I can find.
And I hope everybody's enjoying their night tonight. It's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday night here in Florida. And everybody join in, lounge in with us, because we're going to give you news as much as we can. And if we ever have anything that happens here locally, any crimes or any type of investigations that are going here that's a high crime investigation, we're going to go on scene and film on scene. Let me see what else we have here on him. Yeah, I just don't understand why he chose her, you know.
Yeah. I think that a lot of it was that he's seen her, or there was something about there was an encounter between those two,
There
but
had
it's
to have
very
been.
vague of what it was or what kind of evidence, or they're not really speaking much about.
Yeah, no. Well, just like a lot of these people, like I mean, for him to get, he got banned from his school also back when he was in high school.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He did get banned from his high school from some misconduct again with women. So
Yeah.
there's a trend with this guy, and I really do believe again that he studied and went to college for these PhDs in criminology and criminal justice systems, and then volunteering at the police departments for the crime labs just to build up to make himself into a better killer. Allegedly, he's a mini Dexter. He's definitely dangerous, and I hope to God they get him off the streets for life. For life. Well, because they don't have the death penalty there, so it'd have to be a
Idaho.
life sentence. But we definitely want to find that footage, and we'll bring it to you as quick as we can when we find that footage.
I got something here that I'm going to
Let's see what this-
share.
Whether his attorneys should get the genetic
I'm going to
genealogy
keep looking for
information
the.
that led police to Koberger's doorstep.
You know, if somebody's wants to become something in life, that's the
Hey,
best
are
thing
you
to
looking
do.
for some more
Criminology.
True crime content. Are you an armchair detective? It's okay.
Not that.
So Jesse.
Yeah.
But again, I'll tell you, O'Brien does have the brain of criminology
Yeah, he's a criminology
major.
PhD major.
So he's smart. He's smarter than the average bear, and he's playing this like a fiddle. But it'll all come down on him.
I mean, it does depend on what evidence they have and everything that they are going to present. I mean,
Yeah, well, we don't know because they hushed on this right 2 weeks ago because the DNA they found, they have the pings on the phone. I mean, what else do we need? You know, he did have a
Right.
mask on. I guess he had a surgical mask if they said they saw bushy eyebrows. So he must not have had a full covered mask.
right.
But we're definitely want to thank everybody out there today. We got Johnny Guns Investigation and News Lounge with Becky. And we're going to try to bring you news coverage every time we have something. I really wish we had. I just looked all day to find that footage.
Right. But I'm going to go ahead and share this body cam footage from when he got pulled over.
Oh, yeah. When he got pulled over for running a red light? Let's see. It's in a dirty car.
You're a little too close to back that semi. About one car between you and the back of this trailer. We're about one car going 10 miles an hour. So if you're going 60 or 70 miles an hour, we're about 6 or 7 cars.
Well, these need to pull over twice then, because one was with a female officer running a red light through an intersection. This
Yeah, I
is a
think
different
he
one.
got pulled over a couple times.
Yeah, I think he does it on purpose.
You got stopped by a trooper?
He was on his way
He
from.
just telling the story. He got stopped by the trooper. I wish he
Yeah.
could bring the body
It was a
cam up.
county guy. Was it like a black SUV? Okay, all right. You thought you guys were following too closely? Today? Well, I'm not going to give you guys another ticket or warning if you just got stopped. Just make sure you give yourself plenty of room, okay?
This is in Indiana.
Yeah, this is in Indiana.
Okay. So if you're going 10 miles an hour, you only need one car. Right? If you're going, so the speed limit here is set.
It's December 15th, 2022.
Yeah.
That's the easy way to explain it. Yeah.
I even have my glasses on and I can't see. Well, he tell you, some nice cops out there. I tell him to wash his car.
Well, they are up north.
Yeah, I know the snow
It's
and
the
the
winter.
salt in the winter, yeah.
We're at. Yeah, it's a long haul. You guys scared of airplanes?
See, he likes to keep asking questions. He just loves to.
Did you? Okay. All right, well, hey, peace out, safe trip. Thanks.
There we go. He likes to get pulled over, man. I'm gonna knock on wood. Never had a speeding ticket my whole life. Never been pulled over. Well, that was something. But again, here we are. Is this another shot of it?
No, it's ending.
Okay, guys, here we are, Saturday night, September 23rd, with Johnny Gunn's investigation and News Lounge with Becky, reporting on the Idaho killer, alleged killer, Brian Kohlberger, killing 4 young college students at night in Moscow, Idaho. We're going to keep an eye on this trial, what's coming down, and see what happens. From what they're saying, they have built up a lot of evidence in the last 2 weeks, which nothing has been leaked out. Nobody knows, but we will find out. I'm going to hunt all night to try to find the body cam of the police officer that night of the murder to show you guys. So everybody have a great night. Becky and I are checking out. Be safe and have a good night.
Good night, everyone.